All you need are 3 chords and the truth. In this episode, we're going to cover music theory, how similar color and sound is, degrees, scales, intervals, and all of those stuff. You most likely would have to go through all that rigor alone, and I'll make it even simpler. This is, and it is informed by music theory. By the end of this video, you would know much more than an average guitarist would admit. So I would say music theory, music and color follow a very similar pattern. Think of it this way. They are, in most of those chord diagrams, there are a lot of chords that virtually everything you buy comes with a user manual, from computers to microwaves and everything in between. For guitar, nah, you most likely would have to go through all that rigor alone, except you go look for guidance like you have just done. And yes, you came to the right place. I'm David Ugo. I'm a guitarist. You can check out more about me in my description. In this episode, we'll stay with the basics. We're going to cover music theory. By the end of this video, you would know much more than an average guitarist would admit. The underlying concepts of degrees, scales, intervals, and all of those stuff. More than just the monkey see, monkey do pattern that we are so accustomed with. You would understand the why more than just the what.
Why can't we just go into play the G chord like this?
Let me answer that question. This is Yahweh by Kelechi
This why we call him Yahweh. This why we call him Yahweh. Cause when I call and you call and we call, he answers his way. Oh, that's why we call him Yahweh. That's why we call him Yahweh.
And it is informed by music theory. So I would say music theory is the underlying patterns that make up what you hear. They are the laws, the principles, the patterns. No need to make it any more complicated than it already seems. Notice I said seems, because in truth, there is nothing complicated about it. And I'll make it even more simpler. Music and color follow a very similar pattern. Think of it this way. They are different languages telling the same story, being that one is audible while the other is visible. And notice, like color, if you can master the art of manipulating it, you can portray any image, any emotion, and you can tell literally any story. But one thing's for sure, you cannot manipulate what you don't understand. I've never heard it as beautifully as this guy, Mike George, put it. He said that music theory is gotten from the root word in Greek, musica theoria. In literal sense, music, of course, organized sound, like we learned from physics. And theory, it literally means to see, to view, to understand. So altogether, it literally means to see sound. Think about it. It's almost telling you to see the invincible. So bringing back the concept of how similar color and sound is. So scales, on the other hand, are a sequence of notes arranged in a certain pattern. We have the chromatic scale, we have the major scale, the Dorian scale, and many others. But the two major ones we have is the chromatic and the major, and that's mainly what you would need. The chromatic scale is the movement of sound in intervals of 1, while the major scale is made up of the pattern of whole, half, whole, half. And all this will make sense in subsequent videos, so stay tuned. Let me chip this in real quick. If you haven't subscribed, liked, and commented, I'm going to ask you to please do so that you would see more of our videos. Make YouTube know that this is a valuable content. Make sure it gets to more and more of our guys. This guy, Cloud Debussy, put it very amazingly when he said, music is the space between the notes. Now let's talk about chords, the part we've all been waiting for. So this is a chart showing you how chords are derived, how chords are made. It's quite simple. You have the chromatic scale, then you water it down to bring out your major scale. From the major scale, you pick out at intervals to make out the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chord. The truth is, if you want to become a really great guitarist, there's only a few chords you need to play any song whatsoever. All you need are 3 chords and the truth. By 3 chords, he was most likely talking about the 1, 4, 5 progression, which is every and anywhere one of the most popular chord progressions. There are a million songs you can play with the 1, 4, 5 progression. There are a lot, and it's quite a safe place to start, but in no time you begin to feel quite limited. It's like a painter who has access to only 3 colors. Now here's where a lot of people get discouraged, because in most chord charts, those books we buy that has chords diagrams filled everywhere, you have 7 chords over all the 12 keys. That's about well over 84 chords that you have to learn, and well, that is quite overwhelming if you ask me. But here's where it gets juicy. You don't need 84 chords, and you also don't need as little as 3 chords. In most of those chord diagrams, there are a lot of chords that are reoccurring across different keys. For example, G, A minor, B minor, C, they occur again and again across different keys. Now, if we get rid of the redundant chords across all 12 keys, if we get rid of the chords that occur again and again, we'll be left with 36 chords that we can play around with. Well, while that's a fair number, even that can be reduced. Stay with me. 36 meaning we have 12 major chords, all the major keys. We have 12 minor chords, and we have 12 diminished chords. And really, who uses diminished chords? This already reduces the heartache. Like I said, even these 36 chords can be compressed again to give us 24. If you check all around the circle of fifths, they are all surrounded by their 4 and their 5 chord, and on and on and on all around the circle of fifths. Now you're not just limited to 3 chords, but you have access to more chords, 6 to be precise, on every key. The next video, I'm going to be teaching you specifically how to play certain chords. So this diagram actually helps you to understand the patterns, and the whole video actually helps you to understand the patterns so you can play your favorite songs and not get limited to just a certain key. So you can play it, say, on the key of C, and try it again on the key of G, and my personal favorite, on the key of D. So you're not just limited, you're not just a painter who just has access to 3 colors, but you have a whole world to pick from. And we can even make things even more simpler by learning particular chord shapes across the fretboard. And this we will visit in subsequent videos. The next videos, they're going to be very practical. We're going to go in depth. So now you know. See you in the next video.